Welcome back. I'm that Halloween movie collector, Pat. Welcome to my part 3 of my 40 years of Halloween 3 retrospective. Thanks for coming back. I hope you tuned in for the first two, part 1 and part 2. And now we've come to part 3 and close out this chapter of our 40th anniversary celebration of one of the most divisive Halloween movies. Well, maybe the second most now as of Halloween ends in the community. But one of my favorites all in all. I do love it. Loved it since I was a kid. Gotta love all the collectibles and just the Halloween feel and vibe about it. But I can go through all that and do a review at a later point. But just one of my favorites. So I did a 3-part series on this. Part 1, if you watched it, was all promotional material that I've collected over the years, which is pretty much my favorite stuff. Anything related to the movies, promotion. I just love that stuff. Last week, I did all of the physical media, which is like books, soundtracks, laser discs, VHS. Go back and check that out. Now we've come to the last of my Halloween 3 collectibles, which is Collectibles. Stuff specifically put out with the Halloween 3 name on it. And most of it is from official releases. I have a few things I picked up at conventions here and there, but the majority of everything was officially licensed, I should say. Not bootleg or anything like that. So without further ado, let's go through Halloween 3 collectibles. First up these are all not necessarily in order they were released. I'm just grabbing them as I have everything laid out here. Everything's around me like a command center here. But these are cool, especially after coming off of physical media, Halloween 3 collectibles. I love vinyl, vintage vinyl, and these were very, very cool. It came out a few years ago called Spinachers. Now what these are, and there's one of each. Here's, see if I can get them in there without decent. I'm going to have pictures up like I normally do. Here's the skeleton. Now, these sit on your turntable and spin while you play your record. So there's the skeleton one. There's good old Hagatha, the witch. And our friend, the pumpkin mask. Now, these are super cool. I love how they go on there on the top of the turntable and they spin around. They also do have a Halloween 2 Michael Myers Bloody Tears version, and I'm hoping they come out with the rest of them, of the masks in the series, which would be kind of cool. I guess it all depends on licensing, and I've mentioned before, Halloween 2, Halloween 3 are licensed by Universal, so they just pretty much put it on everything, which is good and bad. It's good because you get a lot of cool things. It's bad because you're going to go broke. Next up, just in time for the holiday season, because we know the second, on Halloween's on October 31st, November 1st, they had all the Christmas stuff out. Actually, that's not true. They had Christmas stuff out before Halloween even came. So what better to celebrate your love for Halloween 3 than with Halloween 3 Christmas ornaments? You have all 3 of our buddies there, the pumpkin, Hagatha the witch, and the skeleton. Now, these are great. I do have another set that I actually do put on my tree, and one that I keep in the box. So I just thought this was awesome. These are great. This is Trick or Treat Studios, who's actually putting out another boatload of Halloween 3 stuff that they're doing a pre-order currently for now, which at a later date I'll have to do a follow-up to this because, I'll be buying it. Next up, one of my more recent pickups in the series of the Toonie Terror series, which they from NECA, they have several different licenses for many other, Chainsaw Massacre. They have Freddy one. They have tons of, obviously, a Michael Myers, Toonie Terrors, but they did come out with the 3-pack of our buddy, the Skull, the Pumpkin, and the Witch Toonie Terrors. These are just bendable figures in the style of old styles, like 70s figures and stuff. But it was great that they did do a Halloween 3 one, and at least they packaged it all into one package. So they didn't have to go buy 3 individual ones like most places probably would have done. So it's nice to just get everything all in one package. But these were great. These are just a recent pickup. I love these Toonie Terrors. This is very, very cool. And keep it in the spirit of NECA, who puts out some very cool figures. They put this out about 2 years ago now. Silver Shamrock, Halloween 3-pack NECA figures. And this comes in this super cool slip case. And you just slide the slip case along and oh, look at that. There they are. Come with some cool accessories. Just a very, very, very cool set. I love the slipcase aspect of it, so you can open it up and take a look at it and display it nicely. Or you can take them out usually, but I don't take things out. I'm just that type of guy. I just try to keep everything original. But this was a great set. I was happy that they came out with it, and they did a real nice job on it too. So kudos to NECA. Next up is something very cool, very big, and very heavy, and a big box. Now, those Halloween collectors, not necessarily just Halloween 3 collectors, Halloween collectors will know what the Mondo Tiki mug sets are. Now, they're highly collectible pumpkin tiki mugs that came out in various colors and styles for the Halloween movies, and they're extremely expensive on the secondary market. But what I was excited was when they finally came out with a Halloween 3 tiki mug set and the style of a tiki totem pole. Now, here's the big box. Got some cool artwork on the box. Obviously, you have pictures I'll be throwing up because I don't want to have to open up the whole box. This is what they look like. The pumpkin, the skull, and the witch. And they stack, which I thought was awesome, like the tiki, like a totem pole. Just very, very cool packaging. Not much to say about this other than they're very, very cool. They're made very, very well, and the detail on them is fantastic. So if you do have these, they did sell out quick, like most Mondo Tiki mugs do. If you don't usually get them on a pre-order, you don't usually get them, and you have to get them on the secondary market, and they do go from a lot of money. I believe these were about 110, 120 out of the gate. So my guess is you're going to pay double that to try to find a set. But super cool, and if you got them, kudos, because they're super cool. Next up is another cool 3-pack set of dolls put out by Mezco. So this is the Living Dead Dolls series from Mezco, which they put out 2 different Halloween ones with Michael Myers. They did a Halloween 2 Rob Zombie version, and they did an original Halloween Myers Living Dead doll. And that was it so far, aside from Halloween 3, when they did the 3-pack of the Halloween 3. There you go. You got your witch, your skull, and your pumpkin. Now, this is a big box. These are much bigger than I thought they were going to be. And I love the same thing. Here's another concept where they packaged it all in one instead of doing 3 separate ones, which I love. As you can see behind me, I'm running out of space. So when things are compact, it makes my life a lot easier. But these are very, very cool. Honestly, these are my favorite out of the Living Dead dolls. The other Myers ones kind of just... I'm not a big fan of them. I thought they could have did a better job on the original Halloween one, making the mask look a little bit better. I understand it's supposed to be like a baby doll, but they could have just did a nicer job. But these, I think they did a much nicer job. It probably looks cooler because they have the masks on. But Living Dead dolls, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Go get them. And something that just recently came out too, not that long ago. There was a pre-order out for a while. But I'm sure if you're a Halloween collector, you've heard of Fright Rags. So Fright Rags put these out recently. And I still have them in their shipping box because the shipping box is cool because it actually has Silver Shamrock on it. So it made it seem like it was actually coming from the Silver Shamrock factory. So I saved the box. I actually keep everything. I keep them in the box. Now these are mini masks of each of the masks from Halloween 3. And let me see. So you have your pumpkin mask, mini mask. You have our beloved Hagatha Witch. And last but not least, this skull mask. Now these are super cool. I thought they were going to be a little bit bigger, but I'm actually cool with the size. And like I said, kudos for putting it in the box. It made it seem like it was coming from the Silver Shamrock factory. Super cool. Personally, I would have rather them put it in a regular packaging box, a regular cardboard box, nondescript, then put this inside it, because then you wouldn't have tape all over it. You wouldn't have shipping labels. But that's just me being an anal collector. But food for thought. Fright Rags. Next up is something very cool too, and they actually do have a Halloween and a Halloween 4 version of these. Tots puts these out. Trick or Treat Studios wall hangings. So you have, there's a total of how many in here? If I don't remember correctly, I have 4 different designs, and this is what they look like. I'll try to get it closer. They're very, very cool. These, I love these retro style ones that you can hang up. And one of these days I'll pick up an extra set because these are still readily available. Just to open up and maybe put out at Halloween time, just simply because I have no place to display anything behind here, as you can see. So they wouldn't be on the walls down here. I probably would just put them out at Christmas time just to decorate. But these are very, very cool. Go check them out. They also have Halloween, I know that, and they also have Halloween 4. Hopefully, I'm hoping they come out with a one for each movie. Be kind of cool. But super cool and very affordable. I believe they're I think they're like $10. So go check them out. Very, very cool. Next up is something that might be a little controversial for some people's beliefs, but it doesn't have the actual original name on it. It's simply just called Halloween 3 Witch Board, which is obviously a take on a Ouija board. Now, I'm not big on these things either. I don't know what your beliefs are. I just got it simply because it's cool as all hell. I mean, it's got some great artwork on the back and the front. You open it up, it does glow in the dark. Let me see. I open it. It's been a while since I've even opened it up. You got to open it. It opens from the front. Has that, which lights up, and the board is underneath. Let me see. It's underneath the protector here. So there's your board and everything, and obviously pictures will be put up here. But I just thought this was great. I had to have it. Some people think it's a little controversial, like, why would you bring that in? It has nothing to do with the movie, but it's just a licensing thing. It's super cool. I doubt anybody's actually using it for what these things are intended for. I hope not. Next up is another fun item which appeared in my first 2 videos right behind me. Everybody remembers the scene where the Kupfer family goes to take the tour of Halloween 3. And they were wondering, what is that room there with the sign that says final processing? Remember, little buddy wants the mask. And Colin Cocker was like, no, these, you have to have these. These are done first. These have been through final processing. And final processing was a room where they put the chips on it and did all the black magic. So nice metal sign. It's just like the one that's in the movie. It's very, very cool. And this was another TOTS. Yeah, I believe it too. Yeah, Trick or Treat Studios. Go get them. You can still these are still readily available and very, very cool. Nice. And if you're gonna get the final processing sign, you got to have the complete sign collection and make sure you have your Santa Mira sign. Now, this is a nice big wooden sign, Santa Mira, home of Silver Shamrock Novelties. And I believe this is Trick or Treat Studios as well. So you definitely got to get this sign too, because it's just great. I always like that artwork and imagery. Very, very cool. Next up, something that was pretty kind of cool. I found this at a convention. This is homemade. Since we're talking about final processing, it's a Connell's final processing chip upgrade. What it is a little light up Silver Shamrock Novelties logo, and I believe it still lights up. Let's see. Very, very cool. I thought this was cool. I picked this up at one of the conventions that I've gone to. Very affordable, and I just thought it was pretty neat. So if you happen to see them, go pick them up. I believe it could have been more than $5-6, but I try to stick to all official stuff. But super cool stuff like this, so long as it's affordable, I'll add it to the collection. So sticking with the tradition of some homemade stuff I found at conventions over the years, just stuff that I thought was pretty cool. Little Silver Shamrock, but the masks keychain. Just something fun to have in your collection. I thought it was pretty cool. And speaking of the Santa Mira sign and logo, I'm a magnet guy. I love little magnets. I put them all over the fridges. So I couldn't pass on the Santa Mira magnet. Now, this is pretty cool. Shout out to Jack's Attic. He's on Instagram. He does a lot of these retro tobacco style cards. He did this Halloween 3 one. He's got many Halloween ones, different variations. You can see them all on his website. But these I thought were pretty cool. I had to pick them up for the collection too. And of course, no collection would be complete without to go match with my Santa Mira hat and my Halloween 3 shirt. Why not some Halloween 3 socks? These were pretty cool. These were put out by Fright Rags. And can't beat them. I never buy pairs of these socks to wear. And people have asked me, how come you never wear them? I said, simply collect them because I have big feet, never have size big enough, and they just don't fit right. So never have to buy a second pair because they just don't fit right. They don't make them for people with big feet. These are always cool too, especially for your car. And they make several of these in all different, for other movies and for every single Myers mask. The scare fresheners, air fresheners. So you have your wonderful Hagatha Witch, your skull, and your pumpkin mask scare freshener. And these things actually smell pretty good because I do, from time to time, I will pick them up when I can, and I use them in my car. So not bad. And they're very affordable and just cool to have in your collection. Now going with some pins here. There's a big market of collectible enamel pins, not just in Halloween and Michael Myers stuff or even Halloween 3 stuff, just all sorts of horror. I mean, there's people out there just collect pins, and they can do it. I don't collect as many as I should because there's just too many of them, and I just can't put them everywhere because there are official ones, meaning they're officially licensed by specific companies. But there's like a lot of people just making their own, and a lot of them are really cool. Some are nicer than the ones that are being officially released. But I just can't collect everything, and there's just hundreds of them out there. So I just try to keep to the original, the officially licensed ones, unless I see something really cool, and I'll pick it up, just like I said, with the magnet and stuff like that. But these came out a few years back, and these are very collectible now. And because I like the packaging instead of just a little plastic package. It was a set of each of the H3 masks. And there's like a little retro type box. So there you have your Hagatha. These are all from Fright Rags. Your skull. And of course, little buddy's favorite, the pumpkin. Now these were great, and these are very collectible now. These came out these about 5 years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. They did. I liked the box packaging. I wish they would put more of them in that. I'm sure it's more cost effective to just put in a plastic wrapper, but pay a little bit more for them because I think they're cool and they keep a little bit better. And in these, you can open them up and take them out. And with regular plastic, you can't take them out because once you rip the plastic, you're dead in the water. And as I mentioned, the onslaught of enamel pins for all different entities, especially Halloween. These are all the ones that I have that are actually officially licensed. And these are all Trick or Treat Studios, I believe. Yep. So there's your pumpkin, your skull, there's Hagatha. This one's pretty cool. This is the pumpkin from the opening credits, the digitized pumpkin. And of course, wouldn't be complete if you didn't have the silver shamrock processing chip enamel pin. Yeah, I love enamel pins. Can't even speak today. But like I said, it's just so much of them. They're hard to display because I wouldn't open up the packaging, and so I just try to keep to the ones that are licensed. Like I said, unless there's something really, really cool. But yeah, there's just a huge market for those out there. A lot of people making them, and they're just a lot to collect. But if you collect them, kudos to you, man. That's no knock on. I just don't have the room or the funds, and that's something I thought was cool. And they seem to be putting a lot of these out, like they just did it in Spirit this year with Halloween 2. But no collection is complete without a pint glass, a Halloween 3 pint glass. So it's got some great artwork on it. Halloween 3, the masks, Dr. Dan Chalice screaming, "Stop it." But this is just great. I do have 2 of these because one I do actually use most of the time on the Halloween Collectors podcast. If I have a couple of beers, I have a stout or something, I'll pour it in here, or my Guinness. So I do use this glass. But they did a great job on this. Great. For those that do collect these and do use them, I'm sure you know this, do not put these in a dishwasher. Always hand wash them because eventually all the artwork will deteriorate. So just a little tip. I'm sure you guys know that, but I'd hate to see somebody ruin something. But these are super cool. And just in time for Christmas, who wouldn't want to get some cool Halloween 3 collectibles under their tree wrapped in Halloween 3 wrapping paper? Yes, indeedy, Halloween 3 wrapping paper. Now, this would be very, very cool. As a kid, I would have loved to get my birthday or Christmas presents wrapped under this. But yeah, this is very, very cool. This, I believe, is Trick or Treat Studios, who's pretty much whoring everything out these days, whatever entity they have licensing to. But these are cool. I believe they do also have Halloween wrapping paper out there. I got to see if they have Halloween too, because like I said, with Universal, that they're just putting everything out. But Halloween 3, very cool. Go wrap those kids gifts in it this year. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle of my collectibles are none other than the masks. You have your Hagatha, the witch. You have the skull. And if I get it right, let's see. Oh, there you go. The pumpkin mask. I'll have pictures up here. I'm not gonna. They're just sitting there nicely, and I'm wrapped around all this stuff. I'm afraid everything's gonna fall on me. These are the re-releases that came out a few years back. They do have a set of these that glow in the dark. I haven't got my hands on those yet. One of these days I will. So these are just the original re-releases years ago. These are not the original Don Post ones that came out back in '82 that were advertised in Fangoria magazine. Never got my hands on those. Would love to get my hands on those, and hopefully over time they stayed well, as long as people, kept them in a good environment so the latex didn't deteriorate. But yeah, I would like to get my hands on the original release of the Don Post ones back in '82, but I did not get them. I did have friends that did order them back in the day. I just didn't. You got to remember, 1982, I was 10 years old. I didn't have the funds to buy masks. So the reason I could buy all this stuff is I'm a lot older, some of the stuff. But yeah, these are the re-releases. They're very cool. They're screen accurate, and just did a fantastic job with them. They're Trick or Treat Studios releases, who's been pretty much putting out all the masks these days that are fantastic. So maybe when I do an updated version of this down the road, maybe I'll have the glow in the dark set. And maybe if I get my hands on it, if somebody ever wants to part with those very rare original release of the Don Post masks, that would be super cool. One of these days I got to build. Now, if you guys remember, I'll throw a picture up there. The display when Ellie and Dr. Chalice walk into Ellie's dad's costume shop and joke shop, and they have the little thing with the mask hanging. One of these days I got to build a little display like that to hang the masks in. Not that I have any room here, but one can hope. But that would be awful. That would be really, really cool to do. Maybe someday. I do try to keep all the Halloween 3 stuff to a certain section of my collection, so you can see this is what I have for Halloween 3. And everything else is kind of scattered because I just have to put it where I have room for it, and I'm really, really running out of room. So there you have it. That's my Halloween 3. This is the end of the 3-part retrospective. I hope you enjoyed it if you're a Halloween 3 fan. Went through everything that I have that's Halloween 3. Right down to the clothes I own. My other shirt, Santa Mira hat, it's chilled down a little bit here, so I forgot to put this hat on instead of my regular baseball cap. So I hope you enjoyed looking through everything that this knucklehead has collected over the years for Halloween 3. If you're a Halloween 3 fan, I hope you enjoy it. I do have a lot of Halloween fans that are not necessarily fans of Halloween 3, but they think the collectibles are very, very cool. They do like them. So, and some of them even have them in their collection, even though they're not, necessarily fans of the film. So, but that's basically it. If you'd like to see a retrospective on anything that's in my collection, be sure to go check out my Instagram page, which is @thatHalloweenMovieCollector, where my collection is. You'll see all the Halloween 3 stuff that I showed in these 3 episodes. You'll see it all listed there. So be sure to stop in, follow, like, and just hit me up if there's something you want to see. If you're a collector, especially if you're a Halloween 3 collector, seeing this and you have some really cool rare stuff and you want to come on to do a co-collector spotlight that I do on my channel, reach out to me by all means. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below. It helps people find this channel. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. I drop one of these religiously every Friday night at 10 p.m. and some other ones during the week. So if this is something you like to see, by all means, help a brother out. Don't cost nothing. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Also, every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we do the Halloween Collectors Podcast, where 3 knuckleheads just sit and talk about Halloween and horror and music, movies, just have a couple of drinks and just get in trouble and break each other's chops, and just love interacting with the people that are in the chat. And we just have a great time. So it's on every Sunday night over in the Michael's Heart and Pinball YouTube channel. So go like, subscribe, check it out. It's just a lot of fun. We do have a lot of fun. There's also a Halloween Collectors podcast group in Facebook. Go join that because that's going to have information on what's going on in the podcast. It's also going to have you guys, interact with us and just say, hey, what would you like to see a podcast on? We do a lot of top 5s, top 10s, best ofs, worst ofs. We're going to be doing some anthology series sort of like this with just the 3 of us. There's a lot of fun stuff. Go check it out. And while you're in Facebook land, be sure to check out my collectors group, Halloween and Michael Myers Collectors Group. That's where all the collectors meet. We buy, sell, trade, and share information about stuff. And just a great group of people. If you're a collector, go check it out and join. And I did join the Twitterverse, so I do have a Twitter account now. It's at that Halloween movie collector. Gee, that's inventive. All the links for all the socials are down below. The like button is probably right about there. Be sure to hit that like button. It helps a brother out, helps with people finding this channel. So check everything out. It's all cool. So thanks again for stopping by. If you're specifically a Halloween 3 fan and this is part 3 and you're just watching that, that's cool, man. There's a lot of people that I've talked to over the years where Halloween 3 is their favorite entry in the franchise. Very divisive, I get it. Not my favorite, but I did do a ranking and it's way up there. Very nostalgic for me. Second movie I saw in the theater, second Halloween movie I saw in the theater opening weekend. First movie I saw was Halloween 2. So it's very nostalgic. I just love everything about it. The atmosphere. I love Tom Atkins and Conal Cochran. Just, Dana Hurley just playing that evil, Celtic witch is just fantastic. So if you're watching this, I'm sure you're a fan of it. I'm just preaching to the choir. But obviously, I'm a fan of all the other movies, some more so than others, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I'm glad you came to check this out. Even if you're just a Halloween 3 person, go check out all the other collectible spotlights, and you'll see some of the cool stuff that I have. So I've been doing these now going on about almost a year. And just highlighting aspects of my collection, different collectibles, telling a little backstory on them. A lot of promotional stuff that I have, because that's the stuff near and dear to my heart, because it's all about the movies. The collectibles are cool, but if it wasn't for the movies, I wouldn't be collecting all this stuff like a knucklehead. So go check out all the other videos, my co-collector spotlights. We're starting doing watch-alongs in the Michael's Horror and Pinball channel with the Halloween Collectors Group. So we did Halloween 3 already a while back, but we can always revisit it. But go check it out if you like to just hang out with guys and just watch. We just watch and chat with the people. So there's just so much, and I'm rambling at this point. I got to get going. So hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're a Halloween 3 fan. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed putting it all together. And I hope you come back for some other episodes, and I will talk to you soon.
Trade secrets.
Oh.